Imagine this for a moment. You're sitting alone, in silence, just you and your thoughts. Everything is still, calm. And then, like a bolt of lightning cutting through a clear sky, a memory crashes into your mind. You didn't ask for it. You didn't go looking for it. But there it is. Maybe it's a betrayal that still burns like fire in your chest. Maybe it's a relationship that left you shattered into pieces. Or maybe it's a mistake. One of those that clings to you like a shadow, chasing your every step, even after all this time. Sound familiar? Stay with me, because what you're about to discover could change everything. There's a hidden truth, a powerful secret unearthed from the deepest corners of the human soul by the great psychologist Carl Jung. A truth that doesn't just offer healing for the memories that haunt you, it promises something even greater. Freedom, a liberation from the chains of your past, a way to finally live the life you were always meant to live. And the most incredible part, this power is already inside you. It's been there all along, quietly waiting for you to awaken it. I'm not talking about wishful thinking or fairy tale magic. I'm not offering empty promises wrapped in comforting words. What I'm talking about is real. It's deep, transformative, and it's rooted in Jung's revolutionary understanding of the human mind and soul. So take a deep breath. You're about to embark on an intense, soul-shifting journey. Carl Jung was more than a psychologist. He was a pioneer, a fearless explorer of the unconscious realms of the human psyche. He believed that inside every one of us exists a hidden universe, a realm beneath the surface of our conscious thoughts. This isn't just some vague storage room for random ideas or bizarre dreams. It's much more than that. It's the archive of your entire being. Every joy, every fear, every scar, especially the ones you've tried to bury so deep that you flinch just thinking about them. But here's the key. Jung didn't see pain as something to run from or to lock away and forget. He saw it as a message, a sacred signal from your soul, crying out, "Look at me, there is something here that needs healing." So I ask you, what memory have you been avoiding today? What moment from your past still weighs on your shoulders like a backpack filled with stones? Because today, we're going to start letting go of those stones, one by one, using the tools Jung gave us. Think about it. Have you ever felt like no matter how hard you try, there's something that always seems to pull you backward? A whisper in your mind that says, "You're not enough." A cruel voice insisting that you don't deserve love. Or maybe it's the fear that you'll just keep repeating the same mistakes over and over again. Jung had a name for that voice, for that inner weight dragging you down. He called it the shadow. The shadow is that part of you that you keep hidden. It's the side you try to ignore, the feelings you suppress, the truths you hope no one ever sees. It's your fears, your insecurities. It's every moment of shame, guilt, or pain you've tried to erase from your story. But here's the twist. Jung didn't see the shadow as your enemy. It's not here to destroy you. It's here to teach you. Every time a painful memory surfaces, it's not the universe punishing you. It's your shadow asking, begging you to stop running and finally look it in the eyes, to acknowledge it, to accept it. And what if I told you that by doing just that, you could begin to heal wounds you didn't even realize were still bleeding? Let's pause. Right now. Just take a breath with me. Inhale slowly. Exhale gently. Feel the air moving through you. Let yourself settle into this moment. Now I want you to think of a relationship that hurt you. Maybe someone betrayed you. Maybe someone made you feel small, unworthy. invisible. Maybe they abandoned you when you needed them most. Hold that person in your mind. Jung would tell you that this person wasn't just someone who came into your life to hurt you. They were a mirror. Yes, a mirror reflecting back something hidden deep within you, something you still haven't fully faced. Maybe it's a fear of being rejected. Maybe it's a desperate craving for validation. Or maybe it's an old childhood wound that never had the chance to properly heal. Now just imagine, what could happen if instead of blaming that person, you stopped and asked yourself, what is this showing me about myself? That's where Jung's brilliance shines brightest. He showed us that our pain can become the doorway to deep self-awareness. The very thing that hurts you could be the thing that helps you grow. Don't get me wrong. This isn't about excusing those who hurt you. This isn't about saying, it's okay that they treated me that way. It's not about letting people off the hook. It's about reclaiming your power. Because as long as you carry that pain like a victim, you're still giving your power away to the one who hurt you. But when you face that pain, when you look it in the eye and say, I'm going to understand this. I'm going to heal from this. The power comes back to you. And believe me, there is nothing more liberating than that. Jung understood something that many still struggle to grasp today. He knew that the unconscious mind is not just a hidden corner of our psyche. It is a living, breathing force that communicates with us constantly, not with words or logic, but through symbols, through emotions, through dreams. And yes, even through those painful memories you try so hard to forget. Let's talk about something we've all experienced at some point. Self-love. Or perhaps more accurately, the painful absence of it. How many times have you looked at yourself in the mirror and felt like you weren't enough? Like you were somehow falling short of what you should be? How many times have you allowed someone else's opinion, words, or actions to define your worth? Jung would tell you that every time you hand over your value to someone else, you're committing a small betrayal. Not to them, but to yourself. Specifically, to your unconscious self. Because deep within you, beneath the noise of your doubts and the scars of your past, lives a profound truth. You are already enough, exactly as you are. But to access that truth, to truly embody it, you must confront the internal voice that insists otherwise. You must face your shadow. That shadow is not just a metaphor. It's made up of the wounds you carry, the ones you've buried so deeply that you've almost convinced yourself they no longer matter. But they do. That time you were harshly criticized. That moment you were rejected. That failure that convinced you you weren't worthy of trying again. Do any of these ring a bell? Because if they do, I need you to listen carefully. Those memories, as vivid as they may feel, are not absolute truths. They're not your destiny. They are just stories. Stories that your mind has chosen to replay on a loop. But here's the powerful part. You can choose to rewrite them. Imagine this for a moment. You're walking through a dense, dark forest. Fog surrounds you. The path ahead is unclear, and every step feels uncertain. And just as you're about to turn back, a soft voice whispers from within, "Keep going. You're close." That voice, that gentle guidance, is your unconscious. And that forest, that's your past. Jung believed that the unconscious is always trying to communicate with us, to lead us, to guide us toward healing, even when we don't consciously realize it. But in order to hear it clearly, you have to stop running. Stop avoiding the pain. Sit with it. Ask it, what are you trying to teach me? Maybe right now, as I speak, you're thinking of a very specific memory or moment from your past. Don't push it away. Hold on to it. Because in the next few minutes, we're going to go even deeper into Jung's ideas and discover how to use them, not just to understand your pain, but to truly transform it and find peace. So let me ask you a direct question. When was the last time you truly felt like yourself? Not the version of you that others expect, not the mask you wear to survive, but the real, unfiltered, unashamed you. If it's hard to answer, that's okay. You're not alone. Most of us lose touch with that authentic self at some point. According to Jung, this happens because the noise of the outside world drowns out the voice of our inner world. The expectations of others, unresolved wounds, toxic relationships. These things form a wall between who we are and who we were meant to be. But here's the hope. That wall is not permanent. You can tear it down. And the tool to do that is courage. Courage to face the pain. Courage to look inward. Courage to love yourself through the messiness of healing. Let me take a moment to share something personal with you. There was a period in my life when I carried a memory that broke me inside. A relationship I ended out of fear. And even after it was over, I kept wondering if I'd ever be enough for anyone. Every time I thought about it, my stomach would tighten. My chest would feel heavy. Until one day, inspired by Jung's teachings, I decided to stop avoiding it. I sat with that pain. I wrote about it. I spoke it out loud. I gave it form. And slowly, I realized it wasn't about that other person. It was about a part of me that needed healing. My own insecurity. My own fear of inadequacy. And do you know what happened? That emotional knot that had lived in my chest for years, it began to unravel. Not instantly, not in some magical, dramatic way, but gradually. And it changed everything. So now, I'll ask you, what memory are you ready to let go of today? Think about it, reflect on it, and stay with me, because we're about to dive even deeper. Healing from painful memories is not about pretending they don't exist. It's not just about thinking positively or distracting yourself with temporary pleasures. Real healing requires intention. It requires action. And yes, it requires courage. Carl Jung gave us a map, a framework to explore the unconscious. And what we're doing right now is taking that map and using it in your life. So get ready, because this is going to be practical. This is going to be personal. And if you allow it, it will be transformative. If you're still here, listening to my voice, it's because something inside of you is ready for change. And I promise you, whatever that something is, it's more powerful than you could ever imagine. Let's talk about relationships for a moment. Everyone has had that one connection that left them shattered. Maybe it was a romantic partner who promised you everything, only to vanish without explanation. Maybe it was a friend who betrayed your trust in the moment you needed them most. What did you do with that pain? Did you bottle it up? Lock it away in some imaginary vault, hoping time would erase it? If so, you're not alone. But Jung teaches us something radical, that pain doesn't disappear just because you hide it. It stays. It waits. It lodges itself in your unconscious, in your shadow, and keeps showing up in your life in ways you don't even realize. Maybe you now struggle to trust anyone. Maybe you shut down every time someone gets too close. Maybe you've built emotional walls so high that even you don't know what's on the other side. Do you recognize yourself in any of this? Then listen closely. There is a way out. Jung said, the unconscious speaks through symbols and patterns. So look closely at your relationships. Is there a pattern? Do you often feel invisible? Do you attract people who drain your energy, leaving you exhausted, empty? That's not random. That's not bad luck. That is your unconscious mind waving a red flag, pointing to an old wound that needs your attention. Let me tell you a story. A subscriber once wrote to me and said, "I always end up with partners who abandon me. What am I doing wrong?" And I shared a Jungian perspective. Look at your shadow. Ask yourself, what part of you believes you don't deserve lasting love? When he did the work, when he looked inward, he found a memory, a moment from childhood where he felt unwanted, rejected. And when he truly faced it, everything began to shift. So I'll ask you now, what pattern are you ready to break? Let's pause here. Close your eyes for just a moment. Breathe. Now, think of someone who hurt you deeply. Don't rush. Let their face come to mind. Hold it there. Now imagine this person standing in front of you. What would you say to them? Not from a place of anger, but from a place of self-love, from a place of truth. Maybe you'd say something like, "You hurt me, but I no longer give you the power to define who I am." Let that sink in. Let yourself feel the power of reclaiming your voice. Because this is just the beginning. Jung would say that this seemingly small act of using your imagination is actually a powerful step toward integrating your shadow. Why? Because when you speak to that memory, when you truly acknowledge it, you are not just reliving the pain, you are beginning to transform it. You are facing it head-on, gently, but with intention. And in doing so, you begin to heal. You're not avoiding, denying, or pushing it away anymore. You're recognizing it as part of your story. And that is the beginning of alchemy, of turning pain into wisdom. Take a moment now. How did that feel for you? Did something shift inside you, even if only slightly? Hold on to that feeling, no matter how small. We're going to build on it. That feeling is the seed of something profound. Because at the core of this entire process, this journey of self-discovery and shadow integration, lies one essential truth: self-love. Jung believed, and I agree with him, that it is impossible to live a full and meaningful life if we don't embrace ourselves completely. Not just the bright, admirable parts, but also the messy, hidden, wounded parts, including our shadows, especially our shadows. But here's where many of us get stuck. Many people confuse self-love with selfishness. We've been conditioned to believe that putting ourselves first is wrong, that it's something to feel guilty about. Have you ever felt that way? Have you ever prioritized your needs and immediately felt shame creeping in? I know I have. There was a time in my life when I had to say no to someone who constantly demanded more from me than I had to give. I finally drew a line, and even though it was the right thing to do, I carried guilt for days, until one day something clicked. I realized that protecting my energy is not selfish, it's sacred. It's an act of reverence for myself. And Carl Jung would have agreed. Every single time you allow someone to cross your boundaries, you're sending a silent message to your unconscious mind. I'm not worthy enough to be protected. But when you stand your ground, when you say, with clarity and love, my peace matters, the message shifts. You begin to tell your entire system, I deserve to be well. I am worthy of calm. I am worthy of safety. So I ask you now, from a place of honesty and compassion, what boundaries do you need to set today to truly honor yourself? Let's explore how these hidden memories, the ones buried deep in your unconscious, can shape your future, especially your dreams. Have you ever had a goal, a dream that lit a fire inside of you, only to slowly watch it fade away? Maybe you once dreamed of traveling the world, writing a novel, starting a business, or learning something new. But somehow, that dream began to feel distant, even impossible. And you don't quite know why. Jung would say, the past is whispering to you. Imagine a child who dreams of becoming an artist. One day, someone, maybe a parent, a teacher, or a peer, says, that's not a realistic goal. That single sentence plants itself in the child's subconscious. It hides in the shadow, tucked away. But years later, that same child, now an adult, still feels resistance whenever they try to create. Doubt sneaks in. Am I really good enough? And that doubt, it's not about talent, it's a shadow echo from the past. Has anything like that ever happened to you? Because it's happened to me. There was a period in my life when I stopped creating altogether. A memory of failure had become so loud in my mind that I began to believe it was the truth. It convinced me that I wasn't talented enough, smart enough, worthy enough. But then I discovered Jung's work, and slowly I began to face that memory. I sat with it, questioned it, reframed it, and I realized something profound. That memory does not define who I am or what I am capable of. So I ask you now, what dream of yours is quietly waiting in the shadows, longing for you to heal the past so it can finally come to life? Let's go deeper. What is stealing your peace right now? Don't overthink it. Just allow the answer to rise up from within. Is it a draining relationship? A mistake you can't forgive yourself for? A fear you've tried to bury? Whatever it is, Jung would tell you, that thief lives in your shadow. And the only way to stop it from running your life is to face it. Not with fear, but with curiosity. Ask yourself, what is this pain trying to teach me? Maybe that mistake taught you how to be resilient. Maybe that toxic relationship taught you what love is not. And in doing so, showed you what you truly deserve. When you begin to see your memories through this lens, something powerful happens. They stop being chains that hold you back, and they become teachers that guide you forward. You are ready to change the way you look at your past. Let me give you a practical example. Imagine there's a memory you carry, one where someone humiliated you in front of others. Even now, when you think about it, you feel that familiar sting of shame rising in your throat. It's still there, unresolved, unhealed. Jung would invite you not to push it away, but to sit with it. Really sit with it. Write about it. Speak about it to someone you trust. Or close your eyes and visualize that scene again. But this time, see yourself responding differently. See yourself standing tall, speaking with strength, with self-love. Say to yourself, yes, this happened, but it does not define me. Little by little, that memory loses its power over you. I did this with one of my own memories, and I swear it felt like a massive weight was lifted from my chest. It was a physical shift, as if something heavy and invisible had finally let go. So let me ask you, what memory are you ready to release today? Don't wait. Don't postpone it. This is your moment, your chance to step into a new version of yourself. And I want to be honest with you. Healing is not easy. There will be days when you want to run from the pain, when you want to cover your ears, shut your eyes, and pretend everything is fine. That's normal. That's human. But Jung reminds us, true growth doesn't happen in comfort. It happens in the discomfort, in the moments when we dare to face what we've been avoiding for years. When you confront your shadow, when you bravely look into those painful memories, you're declaring, I choose freedom. And that freedom, it doesn't just heal your past, it transforms your present. It reshapes your relationships. You stop attracting people who wound you, and you begin to magnetize those who uplift you, who see your light, who walk beside you in truth. And isn't that worth it? We're only halfway through this journey, and now we're going even deeper. Because healing your painful memories isn't just about feeling better for a few minutes. It's about changing your life from the inside out. Carl Jung wasn't just a psychologist. He was a guide for souls searching for more authenticity, more peace, more meaning. And you, listening right now, you are one of those souls. I can feel it. I can sense it in your energy. You are ready. So let's take everything we've talked about and go to the next level. Are you with me? Good. Because it's about to get even more powerful. Let's talk about something we all face at some point. Chaos. Those moments when life feels like a storm, when nothing makes sense, and you feel lost in the middle of it. Maybe it was a breakup that left you shattered. Maybe it was a mistake that made you question your entire identity. Or maybe it was just life pulling the rug out from under you when you least expected it. Jung saw chaos as something sacred. Yes, you heard that right. Sacred. To him, chaos wasn't a sign of destruction or the end of the road. It was the beginning of something profound. Chaos, in its raw and wild form, was the fertile ground where the seeds of your transformation begin to take root. It's not the collapse that defines you, but what emerges from it. But here's the secret, one that many people overlook. You can't just sit and wait for the storm to pass, hoping for clarity or change. You have to step into that storm. You have to walk straight into the fire, eyes wide open, heart exposed. You must face the chaos, confront it, sit with its discomfort, and dig deep into the lessons it's hiding. Because chaos doesn't come empty-handed. It brings gifts, but only for those who are willing to search for them. Let me ask you something. When was the last time chaos knocked on your door? When everything felt like it was falling apart? When nothing made sense? When you were drowning in uncertainty? What did you do with that moment? Did you run from it? Did you try to numb it? Or forget it? Or did you dare to look it in the eyes? Think about it. Every painful memory you carry is like a seed buried deep within that chaos. At first glance, it may seem lifeless. It may look dark, ugly, something you want to bury even deeper. But what if I told you that this seed isn't dead? What if I told you that if you water it with awareness, with compassion, with self-love, that seed could grow into something truly beautiful, something powerful, something true? Jung called this process individuation, a journey of becoming your authentic self. Not just the parts of you that smile in the light, but all of you. The broken parts, the ashamed parts, the parts you've disowned or hidden. He believed that to be whole, you must integrate every aspect of your being, even the painful ones, especially the painful ones. Now imagine for a second that the moment someone broke your heart wasn't just a wound, but a message, a lesson in disguise, a sacred whisper telling you what you truly need in love, what you deserve, and what you must stop settling for. Or that failure you thought had ruined your life. What if that was the very thing that planted the roots of your inner strength? What if you stopped viewing your past as a series of mistakes and started seeing it as your greatest teacher? Let's take a pause together. Just for a moment. Take a deep breath with me. Inhale, hold it. Now exhale slowly. Now let your mind travel back to a vulnerable moment in your past. Don't resist it. Let it rise. Let it come to the surface. Can you see it? Can you feel it? Good. Now imagine that this moment isn't your enemy. It's not here to torment you. It's a teacher, a guide. In the silence of your heart, ask that moment a question. What did you come to teach me? And then, just listen. You don't have to force the answer. Trust what arises. Jung believed the unconscious holds deep wisdom. But we only hear it when we have the courage to ask, when we get quiet enough to truly listen. What did that memory tell you? Don't ignore it. Don't brush it aside, because that answer might just be the key to your healing. Now let's talk about something that many of us struggle with: relationships. Because often, it's through other people that our deepest wounds come to the surface. Relationships are like mirrors, sometimes beautiful, sometimes brutal, but always honest. They show us who we are, especially the parts we try to deny. Have you ever noticed yourself repeating the same emotional patterns, falling for the same kind of person over and over again? Maybe you're drawn to people who don't value you. Maybe you find yourself in friendships that drain your energy and leave you feeling small. You might think it's just bad luck or coincidence, but Jung would say otherwise. He would say it's projection. We project our unresolved wounds, our shadows, onto others. And in return, they reflect back to us what we have yet to heal within ourselves. Let me give you an example. If you keep attracting people who reject you, there's a chance you're projecting an old wound, perhaps a fear of abandonment, a childhood pain, a story you internalized long ago that says you are not enough. That pain lives in your shadow, and until it's seen, it keeps writing your story without your awareness. Does that resonate with you? So here's the challenge. The next time someone hurts you, instead of asking, "Why are they doing this to me?" try asking, "What is this showing me about myself?" Because within that reflection, however painful, it might be pointing you toward the very part of yourself that's ready to be healed. Chaos, pain, heartbreak. They aren't your enemies. They are the fire that forges your strength. They are the sacred messengers of your transformation. You're not here to stay comfortable. You're here to evolve. And evolution always begins in the dark. So the next time life breaks you open, don't run, don't hide. Step into the chaos and listen, because the universe is whispering something only you were meant to hear. I'm going to share something deeply vulnerable. Years ago, I was in a relationship that left me shattered. This person constantly made me feel like I was never enough. At first, I was convinced the problem was them, how they treated me, how they made me feel, how little they seemed to care. I held on to that narrative for a long time, believing that I was just a victim of someone else's coldness and cruelty. But then, something shifted. I came across the work of Carl Jung, and everything started to make sense in a way it never had before. Jung spoke of the concept of the shadow, the hidden parts of ourselves that we refuse to see, the pieces we've rejected, buried, or denied. And suddenly, it hit me. That person wasn't just hurting me, they were reflecting me. They were a mirror, showing me the parts of myself I hadn't yet healed. The pain I felt didn't originate from them. It came from within, from a deep, unhealed place inside me, a wound rooted in my childhood. I remembered moments when I felt invisible, overlooked, unheard. That relationship merely awakened a wound that was already there. Facing that realization wasn't easy. It shook me. But when I confronted it, when I allowed myself to feel the pain, to sit with the discomfort, to stop blaming and start understanding, I didn't just heal from that relationship. I transformed the way I relate to others entirely. Now, when someone crosses my boundaries, I don't stay silent. I speak up. I honor my voice. I protect my peace. And that's something I never thought I was capable of before. Let me ask you something. What past wound is shaping your current relationships? What unresolved pain is quietly scripting the story of your love life, your friendships, your self-worth? Here's a hard truth, but a liberating one. You can't heal what you're not willing to face. Jung used to say, "What you resist persists." And he was right. Every time you run away from a painful memory, you give it more power. It doesn't disappear. It grows. It becomes a monster, lurking in the shadow, feeding off your silence and avoidance. But when you shine a light on it, when you choose to look at it, truly see it, that monster begins to shrink. That's when healing begins. It's not painless. There will be tears. There will be days when you want to give up, when the weight feels unbearable. But there will also be moments of release, of clarity, of a peace you haven't felt in years. Isn't that worth trying for? Let's talk about how self-love connects to all of this, because healing your past isn't just about letting go of pain. It's about rebuilding your relationship with yourself. Jung believed that self-love wasn't a luxury, it was a necessity, and it begins the moment you stop running from your shadows and start embracing them. It begins when you look at your regrets, your failures, your traumas, and instead of rejecting them, you say, "I see you. You are a part of me, and I'm learning to love you too." Picture this. You're standing in front of a mirror. Instead of picking yourself apart, instead of listing all the things you wish were different, you look into your own eyes and say, "I see you. I know you've been through so much, but I'm proud of you." When was the last time you spoke to yourself like that? If you can't remember, maybe today is the perfect day to start. Let me ask you another question. What are you telling yourself that's keeping you from happiness, from love, from success? Those messages, those inner critics, didn't come from nowhere. They were born from past experiences, from people or moments that convinced you that something was broken inside of you. But Jung would argue, you're not broken, you're incomplete. And the way to complete yourself is by reintegrating the parts of you that you've rejected, abandoned, or forgotten. So, take a moment. Breathe. Say it with me. I deserve to heal. I deserve to feel whole. I deserve peace. Say it again. Repeat it until you believe it. Because once you believe it, everything changes. Now let me offer you a simple but powerful exercise. Take a piece of paper and write down a painful memory you've been carrying. Don't overthink it. Don't filter yourself. Just let it pour out. Let the memory take shape on the page. Then look at what you've written and ask yourself, what did this experience teach me? Once you've reflected, write one sentence of self-love beneath it. Despite this, I choose to love myself. You can keep the paper, or if it feels right, you can burn it as a symbol of release. I did this once with a memory of rejection that haunted me for years. And I swear to you, the moment the paper turned to ash, it felt like I was shedding armor I didn't even know I was wearing. Would you be willing to try it? This is the kind of inner work Jung would celebrate. Not passive reflection, but courageous action. We've reached the end of this journey together, but it's not a goodbye. It's the beginning of something new. Everything we've explored so far, everything Jung taught us, has led us to this moment, to this truth. Your painful memories are not chains. They are fuel. They are the raw materials of your transformation. So take a deep breath. Let it fill you with strength. This is your moment to rise, to reclaim your life, to step into your authentic self. Are you ready to discover what it means to live from a place of truth? Are you ready to truly heal? Let's begin. Jung had a powerful idea: synchronicity. Have you ever noticed that when you start to change on the inside, the world around you begins to shift too? That isn't a coincidence. That's synchronicity. It's the universe responding to your courage. When you begin to face your inner shadows, those wounds, fears, and memories that have kept you stuck, and you finally begin to heal them, life begins to fall into place in ways that feel almost magical. But it's not magic. It's alignment. It's transformation. It's you, becoming who you were, always meant to be. Let me tell you a story. I once met a subscriber who had spent years in a toxic relationship. She felt invisible, drained, and unworthy. But one day, she decided to let go. Not just of the person, but of the pattern, the cycle, the part of herself that believed she wasn't enough. She did the hard work. She confronted her shadow. And something amazing happened. She landed a job she was passionate about. She met new friends who truly saw her, appreciated her, and respected her. That's not magic. That's the power of healing. That's synchronicity in action. Now I ask you, what could begin to align in your life if you had the courage to heal? Just for a moment, let's pause together. Take a deep breath with me. Inhale and exhale. Now, I want you to imagine your life without the weight of those memories. Imagine waking up without the heaviness in your chest, without the voice in your head that doubts your worth. How would you feel? What would you do differently? Would you dare to love again? Would you finally chase that dream you buried years ago? Jung used to say that what we often call dreams are not fantasies. They're glimpses. Glimpses of what our unconscious mind already knows is possible. That vision you see for yourself, it's real. But to get there, you have to let go. Let go of the pain, the guilt, the excuses. Let go of the relationships that keep you tethered to who you used to be. So let me ask you, what are you ready to release today? Let's talk about purpose for a moment. Jung believed that the meaning of life isn't about chasing happiness. It's about living in wholeness. And wholeness only comes when you're living as your true self. But here's the hard truth. Most of us aren't. We walk through life wearing masks. Masks that say, I'm fine, when we're breaking inside. Masks that say, I don't need anyone, when deep down, we're longing for connection. These masks help us survive, but they also keep us from truly living. What mask are you wearing today? Is it the one that pretends you're in control? The one that hides your sadness? The one that keeps people at arm's length so they never see the real you? Healing peels away those masks. It exposes you, not to shame you, but to free you. It brings you back to your raw, authentic self. And yes, it's terrifying, but it's also the most liberating thing you will ever do. Let me be clear with you. The world needs you to heal. Yes, you. Because when you heal, you don't just change your life. You create ripples. You change the lives of the people around you. Your family, your friends, even strangers who cross your path. Your courage becomes their inspiration. Imagine that you shared this video with someone who's struggling right now. Maybe your words in the comments will be the exact message they need to hear to begin their own journey. Don't hold this back. Don't keep it to yourself. Be part of something bigger than you. Jung believed we're all connected. Your healing is not just yours. It's a gift to the world. Before we close, I have one last exercise for you. Close your eyes. Bring to mind a memory that still hurts. A memory you rarely talk about, but always feel. Now picture yourself wrapping that memory in light. See it glowing, gently surrounded by warmth and peace. Then say to it, "Thank you for what you taught me, but I don't need you anymore," and feel it dissolve. Watch it fade away like mist in the morning sun. I remember doing this with one of my own memories, and when I opened my eyes, I felt a peace I hadn't felt in years. I want that for you. Try it. And when you do, tell me about it in the comments. I want to know. I want to hear your story. If this message touched something in you, don't let it end here. Share it with someone who needs healing. Leave a comment below and tell me, what memory are you ready to heal? What action will you take today? Your words matter more than you know. They don't just inspire me, they inspire everyone who reads them. And if you haven't yet, subscribe and hit the notification bell. Every week, I bring you more content like this so we can keep growing together. Every time you comment, share, or interact, you're helping this message reach someone who might need it more than you can imagine. Life is a canvas, and you're holding the brush. As Carl Jung showed us, it's not about erasing the past, it's about using it to paint something beautiful. So get up, face your shadows, speak your truth. Because when you do, you don't just heal your most painful memories, you become the person you were always destined to be. Thank you for being here. Thank you for listening. Thank you for being part of this family. I'll see you in the next video. And remember this, change begins with you.